Set 5 years before the events of Star Wars' original trilogy, during the time frame between the films Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith and Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope. Star Wars Rebels follows a motley group of rebels who live aboard the starship Ghost as they fight against the evil Galactic Empire. The rebels include Ezra Bridger, a young orphan from Lothal who learns he can use the Force, Kanan, a Jedi who survived Order 66, Hera Syndulla, a Twi'lek pilot and veteran resistance fighter, Sabine Wren, a Mandalorian explosives expert, Garazeb, or Zeb Oriolos, a Latsit warrior, and the cantankerous astromech droid C-1-10P, also known as Chopper. Here are 7 additional Star Wars characters that should make appearances in Star Wars Rebels. Mon Mothma. A leader of the Galactic Senate's Loyalist faction, Mon Mothma opposed Supreme Chancellor Palpatine's policies during the final days of the Republic. Working in secret, she helped found the Rebel Alliance and served as its civilian leader during the long struggle against the Empire. She will play an important role in ensuring galactic civil war, and after the decisive Rebel victory at the Battle of Endor, she became the first chief of state of the newly founded New Republic. Mon Mothma's ties to the rebellion make her an excellent candidate to show up in Rebels, since she helped jumpstart the rebellion and defeat the Galactic Empire. Barriss Offee. The last we saw of Barriss Offee was in the Clone Wars, when she framed Ahsoka Tano for bombing the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, an act that would lead to her capture and imprisonment. Since then, there hasn't been any Star Wars novel or comic that expanded up on what happened after her imprisonment, which is why it would make sense for her to show up in Rebels. CAD Bane. Like Barriss, CAD Bane is another character from the Clone Wars series whose story was left unfinished. During the Clone Wars, CAD Bane was one of the best, if not the best, bounty hunter in the Star Wars universe. The 18th episode of Season 4, A Crisis on Naboo, was the last we saw of CAD Bane, but it was later revealed on a figure description that CAD Bane survived the Clone Wars and served the Empire afterwards. Filoni, who was supervising director of the Clone Wars, also confirmed that there is a 4-part story arc written from the Clone Wars left unfinished where he mentors Boba Fett. Boba Fett. With his customized Mandalorian armor, deadly weaponry, and silent demeanor, Boba Fett is one of the most feared bounty hunters in the galaxy. Unlike CAD Bane and Barriss, Boba Fett's story concluded in Return of the Jedi, where he fell into the Sarlacc pit and was presumed dead. But what makes Boba Fett interesting in this connection to Darth Vader, over the course of his career, Boba Fett executed many jobs for Vader, which would make sense for him to receive a bounty offer from Vader to capture the rebels. Starkiller. Galen Marek, aka Starkiller, was the secret apprentice of Darth Vader during the era of the Galactic Empire. He was raised and trained by Vader to be a Sith assassin and living weapon to be deployed against enemies of Darth Vader. Vader would eventually request Galen Marek to form the rebellion in order to distract the Emperor with a civil war, hence allowing them to assassinate him. However, the mission would prove to be a deception by Vader, whose intentions were to round up the enemies of the Empire and destroy them once and for all. After discovering Vader's intentions, Galen Marek would go on to form the rebellion and help them in many instances. Han Solo. Han Solo is one of the most well-known characters in Star Wars, but there's a lot of history in Han Solo's past that is yet to be explored, and Star Wars Rebels would be a great platform for that. Some stories have been explored in various novels and comics, but most of these aren't canon anymore. Plus, it would be cool to see what Han was up to before the events of Star Wars A New Hope. ObiWan Kenobi. Unlike some of the characters on the list, Obi-Wan did actually make an appearance in the pilot episode of the show, but it wasn't a physical appearance, instead it was through a hologram. It would be fascinating to watch as Obi-Wan discovers the identity of Darth Vader and the state of the galaxy. This makes too much sense for it to not happen. In fact, I'm willing to bet my life on the line that Obi-Wan will eventually make an appearance on the show.